can live a life in flow where your deepest heart's desires become reality. At Set to Love, we offer strategies and ideas on how you can stay out of crazy town. See, your human experience is meant to be lived with meaning, purpose, and creativity. You are here to contribute through your essence. We are best friends, moms, entrepreneurs, and above all, find our flow in assisting you to find yours. We come together weekday mornings to bring you ideas to fall deeper in love with your life and the journey that you are on. Take what works and ditch the rest, and always stay set to love. Thank you for being a part of this community. We're all designed to live in flow. So let's go. Courage is the thing that you need to tip yourself into flow. Welcome back to another episode of Set to Love. I am one of your hosts, Eva Payne, and this lovely lady over here is my best friend.
Yay! Wow, courage. I'm getting a chill when you say that because I've had to be courageous, and you usually push me to the limit and to try things that I don't want to try. And I think the secret to that is you always do it when I don't have too much time to think about it. You just you gotta go. You got to do it.
Let's go. Let's go. I think it's interesting. So we know science has shown us, and David R. Hawkins, he's an author, and he talks about our energy and how really high energy like love and gratitude, it resonates in your body at a different level. And then the lower energies are fear, anxiety, depression, jealousy, anger. And right in the middle where everything tips to the positive is courage. And isn't that so true? I mean, think about a time, whether it was a tough conversation you had to have, or you did something physically challenging for yourself and you made it through. When you do something that feels courageous and you're successful at it and you overcome it, you get this boost of, I am woman, hear me roar. I can do this. I am strong. I'm stronger than I thought I was. You feel good about yourself. And that really does just tip your life into this flow.
Well, what comes to mind for me, and it's recent, when you called and you were going to do your Toastmasters and you said, I need an idea this morning, Shelly. What's an idea? And so I started blabbing about something and you're like, that was so good. You talk about it. You need to go on Toastmasters. I'm like, no, I am not a speaker. This even is courageous for me to be doing this podcast because you're so amazing. You're, have journalism in your background. You're a broadcaster. You're just, that's a lot to sit next to as far as I'm concerned. But I decided to do it. And I did it. I was really, really, really scared. I'm thinking, why did I let her talk me into this? The thing is then at the end, when they judged over the people, I won. And I'm like, wow, not only did I feel really good about facing a fear. And when I tell you, I was a 10.5 on fear. And I just thought, if Eva thinks I can do this, I can do it. And then I win. I couldn't believe it. So I think when you face a fear, it teaches you something about yourself that you can do anything you set your mind to. Right. And it is really an added plus when you have someone that's a great cheerleader, such as yourself, to be there to push you on and say, you got this, you can do this. So yeah, I'm really glad I did it. And now here we are doing a podcast and
yeah, well, and this is fearful. This takes courage, right? Putting yourself out there every single day. And courage for each person is different. I mean, it might require a lot of courage for someone to say, just make a phone call and have a conversation with someone. It might take a lot of courage for you to post something on social media. It might take a lot of courage for you to go and do that adventure or go to that new place and visit that person or do that thing like hiking the Grand Canyon for us, just doing something that feels so out of your comfort zone. And the more you can push yourself really out of your comfort zone, if it feels just like a little bit hard, that's still great. But when it feels really hard and you do it anyway, it feels so good. I mean, every time I get up and speak in front of an audience, I am nervous before, and I speak a lot, and I still get really nervous. And I have to remind myself, okay, use this energy. This is good. This is positive. And I'll take some deep breaths, and I'll clench my fist really hard and let it go, and clench it really hard and let it go. And I try to do all these techniques to calm myself down. And then once I'm in it and going and start, everything settles in. And it was kind of like that for the canyon too. Like you're putting this giant pack on, you're like heading down into the Grand Canyon. Like, what am I saying yes to? I'm not even a good hiker. And once you're in it, I mean, there's no getting out of it. So then now you're committed to following through. But it's so interesting because coming out the other side, I think for both of us, we felt like, wow, we can take on anything. And especially if you're stuck in life and you really feel like the woe is me, or I don't know what to do, or I don't have direction, do something courageous, whatever that would be for you. There is something that happens in your body, in your heart, in your soul, in your mind that propels you more into your flow.
I'd have to say that Grand Canyon trip, when we started, because literally we had everything on our backs for 5 days or whatever. We were not experienced hikers. We wanted to go because of the life coaching part of it. And that was great. But I remember, I am not kidding, I remember thinking, what was I thinking? This is crazy. It's 100 and something degrees. And then the only way I could get through it was to say, there's no one helping you. Do you know that you have to do this on your own? There's no Bob to help you. It's one step in front of the other. And I think that positive self-talk, and we had a lot of crazy things that happened along the way that were really challenging. And so I have to say, for someone who really does want to see what they've got inside themselves, I don't care if it's the Grand Canyon, jump off a plane, whatever it is, when you do something that severe that takes days and that much energy and courage, it is life-changing. I remember when we got done with that, I'm like, I am woman, hear me roar. There is nothing I can't do. And that's a really beautiful gift you can give yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that. Sorry, my computer's kind of lagging, I feel like today. But I just really want our listeners today to think about, so today's Thursday, what are we, October 29th, 2020. Whenever you're listening to this, I want you to take the next couple days and really think about what is something courageous that you can do. Maybe you look at one of your fears. What's something that is in front of you that you're avoiding, that you don't want to face, that pile you don't want to dig into, that conversation you don't really want to have, that experience you're afraid to start or jump into, that idea that's been in your mind for a really long time that you think, I should start this, I should start that. Think about Wendy Bird yesterday and her husband saying to her, you should do something with pearls. You should do something with jewelry. You love this stuff. And how she took those courageous steps. And next thing you know, she's starting a nonprofit. She didn't set out to do that. She just felt compelled and thought, okay, why not? Let me try. Let me be courageous. And she's impacted thousands and thousands of lives because of it. So what can you do? What can you step towards so you can overcome some fear and you can feel that courage in your body? Think about that, write it down, ponder about it, and then do it. Be courageous and take that step.
And I think that's infectious with the people that are around you. They see a change in you. Look at about how Wendy, how she took her kids on another trip, and her one son had illnesses and it seemed impossible for him to go. And he went, and it was life-changing. And he wants to do, he saw so many things he would have never experienced in his life. And his mom, just kept pushing forward. This is what he wants. I want to make it happen. And so I just feel like it's also infectious as you're getting healthier and, facing your fears and being courageous. All the people around you will want to be more like you. And or take a buddy with you, have a good friend and tell her, look, I don't want to do this alone. So long as you do it.
And courage is inspirational, like you said, Shelly. It does infect other people around you. If you don't have courage right now or don't even know what you could do to be courageous yourself, look for inspiration outside of you and pull on some other people's, who are out there doing that thing. It might just be watching a documentary. There was a documentary out there called Free Solo. If you have not seen it, you have to see it. It's this free climber. He climbs El Capitan in Yosemite. I mean, it's just like this giant cliff face with no ropes, nothing, just chalk and his hands. And he climbs this entire mountainside. It is the most amazing, courageous thing I have ever seen. And it was so inspiring. I mean, I was fearful the whole time watching this guy do this thing. And also so inspiring because I look at someone like that, and while I will never, ever, ever, ever in any lifetime ever be him, I can be inspired by someone like that. I can go, wow, human beings are so incredible. If that guy can do that, and that's within his wheel well, that's his love, that's his passion, that's where his strengths are, that's where he's trained. What are mine? I'm a human too. I can do great too. When I see 80-year-old men running these triathlons and competing in these events, I think our human bodies are amazing. Look at all the things that we can do. That inspires me to be more courageous with my life. So if you don't have something right in front of you right now that you're like, that's what I need to do to become courageous, draw on someone else's courage until you can figure out what your own thing is.
And don't settle for a mediocre life. When you take these challenges, it really does do something. Some endorphins or whatever that is, it really does inspire you to go and do something else. And then it's something else. And all these doors open and you meet different people. And this is where you can see synchronicities and have flow in your life, because you are trying. This is part of flow, is you are trying new things and you're not settling to just live your day-to-day life, getting up, doing the same thing over and over. And you think, is this it? We don't want you to live like that. We want you to have a flowful life, to be joyful, and to give all that love and to support to everyone else too.
Yes, it's so important. What came to mind for me, and I don't know why, so I'm going to say it. Maybe someone out there needs to hear it. But it's even as simple as when you go on a walk through your community, you say hi to the people you pass. You make eye contact and you wave and you engage. We're so into our phones. We're so into like what's happening with me and my situation that we don't even notice what's happening in the world around us. And that sometimes takes courage, just to put yourself out there and, hi, how are you? Good morning. And just engage with people that you don't even know. That could be such a courageous step for you. So if you're someone who's like, oh, I never say hi to people that I pass by when I'm on a run or a walk or a bike ride, try it. See what happens when you connect to other people. There is an energy that is infectious, and we're meant to connect together. And that could be something that might be challenging for you. So that might be something you could practice.
Great advice. I know that when we go on our walks, we always, and we've met some really cool people on our little walks, and it's been a lot of fun. Sometimes people will just walk by, but other times they may pet my dog, and then we start that conversation and we meet new friends, and then we see them, other times. It's really great to have that new community.
I've really appreciated it. I've even been on walks where I've seen, there was a young man that I passed by one day, and he was really sad, and I ran past him, and the voice was like, turn around, go tell him everything's going to be okay. I thought, oh, this child's going to think I'm weird. He must have been like somewhere between 16 and 18. And I just turned around and just looked at him, and I said, everything's going to be all right. You're going to be all right. And he looked up and he had tears in his eyes, and it was just a little tender moment. But it's things like that. It's when you're just open to connecting and you're open to being courageous with the people around you and using your talents, using your skills, giving out your love, you will make such a difference in this world by just small little things, just recognizing other people and honoring your truth and speaking your truth. That's how you build confidence in relationships, which is something we talked about this week too. That's where you find your flow. Be courageous with your life.
And ultimately, the person who really wins is you, because giving out love and being there for other people is so fulfilling. It really is. When you just change your mindset a little bit and take that courage to just go and do it. I just really believe the people that benefit the most when you do wonderful things for people is yourself. It just helps you to feel really good.
That's so true. Shelly, I love you. I love
love
these
you.
mornings. I appreciate you being here and just sharing with me in the wisdom and knowledge that we have, and also learning from other people like Wendy Bird yesterday. If you guys haven't checked out that episode, you can download it now on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast, and you can listen to the whole interview. It's a little over an hour, but it's so worth your time. She's so full of wisdom. And it's one thing to listen to Flo from Shelly and I and our experiences, but if you're a listener, you follow us, you're going to hear the same things over and over and over again, because we only can pull from our life. So that's what's so beautiful about listening to someone else's life and recognizing, oh, there it is. There's the flow. There's the flow. You start to see the pattern of how you live in flow when you listen to other people who are doing it. So I highly encourage, you can just search Set to Love, search Wendy Bird. It's also up on YouTube, and it's on our Patreon page, patreon.com/Set to Love. The second half of the interview, we did 15 minutes here on the live stream, and then we interviewed her for like 45, 50 more minutes. And you can go and check out that interview there if you want to watch it and her beautiful face and talk about all of the things that she's been able to accomplish in her life and how flow came to her that way. It's beautiful. It was such an honor and blessing and privilege to meet her yesterday. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Tomorrow, Friday, we're excited to see you, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. SetToLove.com is our website. And if you have a question for us around flow, around your relationships, around what the heck would these girls say around this particular situation, just email us. It could just be a one-sentence question. You could write out your whole life story, and we will be there for you and just offer whatever advice we have. Take what works and ditch the rest. And that email is settolovepodcast@gmail.com. Please subscribe, share this video or this content with someone who you think could benefit from it. We appreciate you guys being a part of our community. Have a fantastic day. Love you, friend.
Love you.